Welcome to RehabiliToy.
Welcome back to the Kavanaugh Hill Raceway. If you're new to the channel or you haven't seen our previous races on this track, this is a 2-scale quarter-mile downhill track. It's made up of 20 feet, 2 lanes of orange track. It finishes in a 3D Botmaker built finish line, and then we have some run-out track at the end. In previous times that we've shot races on this track, we've used multiple camera angles, but to keep it simple this time, we're just going to be using a single slow motion camera at the finish line where you can also see the run out track, and there'll be a couple of good crashes in this race. So let's get started looking at the cars that we're going to race. So here's the black variation first, and then here's the tan. After that, we're going to race it against a yellow Turismo. Now, the yellow also comes in 2 variations. Here's the purple variation, and this is the only one we have to race. There's also a black variation. Unfortunately, we don't have it. And then the winner from those will move on to start racing the DeLorean. So the first DeLorean model that we're going to race kind of bridges the Turismo to DeLorean casting, and that is this one. So this is a DeLorean casting, but it has that same flying colors tampo that was on the original Turismo. Kind of a nod back to the history of the car. So it's nice that Hot Wheels included that. So we'll race that one, and then after that, whoever the winner of that race is will go on to race this green DeLorean. And then we'll move from the green DeLorean to this gray DeLorean, and this is pretty common car. Saw it on the shelf for quite a while. Then we will race this police badged DeLorean. Now this one I believe was a special item, is only available at Target in a 10-pack. And then we will race the winner of that race with this red colored DeLorean that has these nice chrome wheels on it. From there we will move on to this black colored DeLorean, and then we will have this silver colored DeLorean, and then we will move on from the silver to gold, and then we're going to wrap up the race with this faster than ever model. So hopefully you enjoy this race as much as we enjoyed sending them down the track. So let's get started. Alright, so we're starting off with the red colored Turismos. The tan interior model is in lane 1, and the black interior variation is in lane 2. Let's see how they do. Alright, it looks like the black interior model won the first race. Let's send them back down the track after we switch lanes. So this time the black interior model will be in lane 1, and the tan will be in lane 2. Let's see what happens. And again, the black interior model wins that race. Now we're going to race the yellow Turismo. So the red Turismo will be in lane 1, and the yellow will be in lane 2. Let's see how this goes. Once again, the black interior model of the red Turismo wins. So let's switch them up. Yellow will be in lane 1, and the red one will be in lane 2. And yet again, the red Turismo with the black interior has won. So now we're going to move on to the DeLoreans. We'll see how the Turismos do against The DeLorean's the first up of the DeLorean series, is the one with the same flying colors that we see on the Turismo. So the Turismo will be in lane 1, and the DeLorean will be in lane 2. And surprisingly, the Turismo wins. I thought for sure with the newer wheels that the DeLorean would do better. Well, let's switch them up and see what happens. The DeLorean will now be in lane 1 and the Turismo in lane 2. And yet again, the Turismo wins. All right, let's move on to the green colored DeLorean. Turismo will be in lane 1 and the DeLorean will be in lane 2. And this time the green one takes a win. Let's switch lanes and see who wins. And unfortunately, that retires our Turismo. So we will be racing DeLorean versus DeLorean for the rest of the race. All right, let's start with moving from the green to the gray. So let's race the green and gray DeLoreans. The green will be in lane 1 and the gray will be in lane 2. And the gray DeLorean wins. All right, let's switch lanes. The gray will be in lane 1 and the green will be in lane 2. All right, so gray takes the win. Let's move on to the Police Tampo DeLorean. It will be in lane 1 and the gray DeLorean will be in lane 2. And gray wins the first round. Let's switch lanes and see what happens. Gray will be in lane 1 and the police will be in lane 2. And yet again, the gray one wins. All right, now we'll move on to the red DeLorean. Red will be in lane 1 and gray will be in lane 2. And the gray wins yet again. Let's switch lanes. Gray in lane 1, red in lane 2, and see what happens. And again, the gray wins. All right, now we're going to move on to the black DeLorean. The gray will go in lane 1 and the black in lane 2. All right, gray wins again. Let's switch lanes. Black goes in lane 1, gray goes in lane 2. Gray is a fast car. All right, we're going to switch now to the silver colored DeLorean. Gray will go in lane 1, and the silver DeLorean will go in lane 2. Oh, look at that trunk pop open. All right, let's switch lanes. We'll put the silver car in lane 1 and the gray car in lane 2. And gray wins again. I'm starting to wonder if this car is going to even, it's just going to win the whole thing. All right, let's move on to the gold colored DeLorean. This is my son's favorite color. It's kind of a cool matte finish on this gold one. Gold will go in lane 1 and gray will go in lane 2. Boom! Look at that crash. Fantastic. I'm glad I shot this in slow motion. All right, let's switch lanes. Gray won that round. Let's put gray in lane 1 and gold in lane 2 and see if the outcome is any different. And gray takes the win again. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this series up with a race against a faster than ever model. We'll see if the faster than ever is able to beat the gray car. So the FTE will go in lane 1 and the gray model that has been our winner up until now will go in lane 2. Ooh, another crash. That was a great race and a lot closer than I would have expected. All right, now lane 1's been faster this whole race, so we're going to put gray in lane 1 and the FTE in lane 2. We'll see if that lane advantage, we end up with a tie race. It'll be interesting. And the FTE wins again, but not by much. It tells you how fast that gray DeLorean is. So before we end the show, I did want to mention 4 other vehicles that we were not able to include in the race. And the reason is that these vehicles, predictably, were not able to make it all the way down the track. And since the camera was only set up at the end, there really wasn't anything to show. The first one is this Real Riders Back to the Future Time Machine DeLorean. This is a great casting. I really like the detail on this, and it is a Zamac color, so the only actual paint on it is just a few little pieces of detail. Otherwise, it's just bare metal. It's a beautiful casting, but as is typical of Real Riders, they just don't do as well on the track. And the other one that I want to mention is 3 cars. It came in a 3-pack of these Nano, I can't remember what it's called. It's Nano something. Anyway, sorry I cut it off on the package when I took the picture. But these cars are really tiny, and it's hard to describe exactly how small they are. I'll have a picture here at the end that'll show all the cars together, and you can see how tiny these are. These are all metal. They're really neat little cars, especially the amount of detail they were able to get given the size of these castings. But again, there just isn't enough mass to them, and the wheels are just too tiny to really do well on the track. As is, though, they still made it about 10 feet down our racetrack. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the races as much as we did. Sorry about the lack of camera angles. Here's a picture of all the cars that we featured today in our race. Some of them you got to see on the track and some of them not. You can see the Real Riders Zamac car there at about the, I don't know, it's about the 11 o'clock position. And then in front of them, you see the little nano cars. See how tiny they are compared to the 1/64 scale cars. They're pretty amazing. Again, they didn't make it down the track, but they're fun just the same if you like to collect them. And you're welcome to subscribe to the channel if you'd like. You're not going to receive notifications because we are a kid-friendly channel. And certainly I encourage you to look at other diecast channels here on YouTube. We are not going to be producing much more content here at RehabiliToy. This was kind of our farewell video, but we're glad that you watched, and we will leave our channel online for others to enjoy in the future. And if you would like to contact me, I am still available on Instagram. You can direct message me there or comment on any pictures that we post. Thank you so much.